Welcome to Heather Ewing, the CRE Rundown. And today I have a fellow CCIM. I am excited to introduce to you Rav Singh. He is a commercial real estate professional coming to us from beautiful San Antonio, Texas. Rav, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Heather. Nice to be here.
Definitely. And if you could share with our guests a little bit more about you so they can understand who you are and the magic that you bring to commercial real estate.
Well, thank you. Absolutely. Yes, so I am based out of San Antonio, Texas. Been in this wonderful city for the last maybe 18, 19 years. But really went to school and grew up in the Midwest in Des Moines, Iowa, in that region. So moved here to San Antonio, got into investing, just got my license and sort of went in the commercial real estate field automatically just because of my background in business. I just gravitated to numbers more, got into the commercial real estate side, and then got my CCIM back in 2009. And since then, I've been brokering a lot of specialty assets, and that included just investment properties for my clients, and got into the hotel business all by accident, just because I knew somebody who had a hotel. Got the opportunity, got the listing, and took the listing, and learned how to broker hotels. And so for the last 10 plus years, I've been focused on hospitality real estate. I'm with a company
Mhm.
called KW Commercial, which is based out of Austin, Texas. It's a big franchise. Keller Williams is a big franchise.
Mhm.
And I lead their hospitality division for the country. And so we have brokers from all over the US and Canada and other parts of the world that are getting into the hospitality industry. And so I'm pretty much putting the pack together. We're doing a lot of masterminds. We're doing a lot of just one-on-ones on understanding what hospitality brokerage is. So I've been doing that for a while now. And then about 5 years ago, my brother and I got into the investment side again, where we joined our portfolio together and started buying multifamily properties. Well, long story short, about 5.5 years ago, we started that. And now we syndicate these properties where we have passive investors that invest with us. So we are investing multifamily, hospitality, and self-storage properties.
I love it. That's terrific. I think one of the aspects of commercial real estate that I really enjoy, no matter which asset class, is the ability to really create and forge your own path. And it's pulling together the different mix that you really enjoy, where you shine, obviously mixing the hotels and then the multifamily and storage. At first glance, you wouldn't think about it, but the nice thing is it's anytime you learn a process, you can then utilize it over different asset classes and then learn the various peculiarities of each arena. So I really enjoy that. What would you say was the maybe the most challenging aspect of that, of getting into the other asset groups after hotels and hospitality?
Um, so I would think for me, it was more of a natural fit more than a challenge. I was already doing hospitality. I knew hotels, but I didn't want to compete with my investors, people who I am
Mhm.
being a fiduciary to, buying and selling those properties. So for the
Yeah.
last 5 years, we didn't touch the hospitality space from an investment standpoint with our company. We have a company called Spur Equity, and so it's based on our investors' demand. Our investors' mandate to us now is we've done a lot of investing in multifamily, which was a natural transition because we already had some rental houses, we already had some duplexes and fourplexes, so we kind of knew what we were doing on the multifamily side,
Right,
small scale, and that grew to
right.
where we started buying 100, 200 unit apartment complexes and investing with other sponsors and building these properties. And so I'm a firm believer that education is the foundation. And no
Mhm.
matter what you do, you have to have some sort of an education in it.
I
And
agree.
so when we first started investing in different asset classes, I went back to school. I went back to just learning and taking classes and really understanding the fundamentals of it. But at the end of the day, I'm also a firm believer that you can't do everything. And so we
Right.
rely on developers, we rely on other sponsors that know more than we do, and we partner with them. But having the foundation helps because you understand that at that point that nobody's really taking advantage of you at that point.
Right. And something I really want to highlight that's very commendable also is your point about not wanting to compete with your clients. And with that alternative asset class, you don't hear about that very frequently, right? Because typically we invest in what we know, but by creating the education and the knowledge in those other asset classes, and then obviously rolling up your sleeves and digging in there, you really acquired the knowledge you needed and also the pivotal partners. I'm too a firm believer to excel and really do well. You need to pull in the best from all the different areas and hand select your team.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't do everything. You have to have, as you said, I love that. You have to hand select the team, and then once you have that
Mhm.
team, I mean, that's an extension of you, right? You're a partner in their possibility
Definitely.
at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think with commercial real estate, also due to the duration and timelines of how long it takes to complete deals, I think we all really understand the importance of relationships, and it's the reciprocity of that and really seeing them almost as an extension of yourself of wanting to make sure they are taken very well care of so that that way it continues to help them and their family and lineage, and it also helps yours and ripples through in a great way.
I love it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're in a people business. We are, we
Hmm.
work with people. We don't work with dollars or capital or money. Obviously,
Yeah,
that's the extension that we need. So for us, our mandate is that when we are looking at a new project, forget the underwriting, forget everything. First and foremost for me is the person behind it, is the company behind it, is the leadership
yeah,
behind it. And once we feel comfortable with that and have that alignment of thought, at that point, we look at then the underwriting and the property and the market and all that. But that's secondary. We're investing
right.
in people.
Yeah, definitely. So, along those lines, how would you say that mindset comes into the picture of these long term deals, the long term relationships, and just really putting all the pieces together?
So you have to have a mindset of abundance that
Hmm.
you can't win it all, you can't have it all, but together we can. And so really
Right,
that's really how we look at the deals that we do as Per Equity when we are working with our investors. It's easier to do bigger deals if more people are with us. And it's
right,
that power of 1 + 1 = 11, and that's what we talk about all the time in our world. Because yes, I only have so much reach. I can grab whatever I can. That's in my vision, in my scope. But to go beyond
mhm,
that, you have to stretch yourself. And for us, stretching ourselves mean actually going out and bringing people in our fold together. And so it's that 1 + 1 = 11 mindset for us,
yeah.
that abundance mindset that has taken us from, 5, 6 doors to 3,000 doors in 5.5 years.
I love that. That's fantastic. Definitely. What's part of your process in crafting that team, right? What's kind of some of your due diligence patterns or what's in the framework as you put together a team?
Sure, absolutely. So, for us, it's important that we're not looking at every single deal in the market. We're not looking at every single market that we want to be in. What we are doing is we're working one-on-one with people, let's say, conversations that we're having with you right now, understanding where the people are coming from. And once we understand where they're coming from, then we really dig into their past performance to understand what they have done. And what I mean by that is the work that they're doing, the amount of full cycles that they've done, the underwriting that they did, and when they exited, was the alignment there, and then really, I want to know them on a personal level. So we go and visit the team. We're in
Mhm.
three markets. We're in Texas, we're in Phoenix, and we're in the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, because we found partners there and that alignment of thought is there. And then we go
Mhm.
there and we not only work with them to see who they are and their team that they're working with, but also we want to check out the market. So we end up meeting with folks in the community. We end up meeting with the leadership in the city itself, just to really understand where the market is headed, where the market is going. Because I think it's important
Mhm.
for us not to just put blinders on and say, look, it's not my money, it's my investors' money. Let me just deploy it somewhere, right? We have a fiduciary
Mhm.
responsibility,
Yeah.
and we're putting our own capital online at the same time. And so I
Yeah.
think that alignment of thought is very, very important for us before we deploy even $1.
Definitely. And I think it's really with that thorough due diligence that it does flush up the items that might need a little more investigation, or also of determining, what, maybe for what we're looking for, this just isn't the right fit. And I think that's
Absolutely.
something really important for newer, whether they're brokers or investors or both, of realizing you're not going to say yes to everything. And probably the first response will be no
Mhm.
until you really get into a groove and also have some of the different relationships where you do get hand fed some of those really good offerings and they understand what you're looking for in that respect too. So jumping back to a little bit earlier, you had referenced also a mastermind. So did you start a mastermind or tell me more about that?
I do, and that's specifically for commercial real estate agents that are very interested in the hospitality field. And currently,
Mhm.
I'm only offering it to KW Commercial within my brokerage
Okay.
itself. But yes, I
Yeah.
do a mastermind once a month, and then I offer a deep dive course into hospitality where it's an 8-week intensive course that I've designed where participants sign in and they have to show up for 8 weeks. And we talk about
Hmm.
really what is hospitality, what's a hotel, what's that industry look like, all the way up to working with owners, working with buyers and sellers, how to take a listing, where to market the listing. And at the end of the day, my goal is that after the 8 week session that they've done, which is really crash course into the hospitality CRE brokerage, that
Hmm.
they're able to at least go in the field and feel confident enough to go talk to a buyer and the seller. Because you know how it is when we first start in this,
Right.
that if you don't have that confidence and you don't show that confidence, it's very hard for
Hmm.
a buyer or seller to give you that assignment. And so
Exactly.
and I'm an extension of their team, so they can always rely on me. And we've taken
Hmm.
listings where we've gone together with my resume and their resume put together and taken down multi-million dollars worth of listings, which
Hmm.
not that it could not be possible without me, but I think that confidence is
Right.
so important to have. So that deep dive course that is done, I've done it now three separate times with
Okay.
7, 8 individuals each, and my hope is that they're going to outshine me and outperform me and do bigger and better deals.
Right, right. It's kind of like Napoleon Hill, right?
Yeah, that's right. Right.
Yeah. But I think you touch on something really important, and it is confidence. And that's where you hear a lot, whether it's information that you're reading on LinkedIn and magazines elsewhere, of how is it cultivated. And I think it was Ed Milet in one of his podcasts that had mentioned it's keeping the promises to yourself and also to others.
Mm.
And after a while, you start to believe because you're delivering on what you're promising each time. And also, I think, the position that creating this mastermind for your KW brokers and agents, that is such a great gift too, because it helps them in building their confidence because they know that they can make great promises because you're there and they can rely on you and get that information so that they're still delivering to their clients. Because otherwise, if you weren't there, they can't make those, or they shouldn't make those promises, right? And so it's nice to have that backing that you provide, and what a great way to teach them and foster it and have that. Do you think you'd ever open the mastermind up to anyone outside of KW, or do you think it's going to stay within in house?
So no, I think the goal would be that one day I'll open it up. I did that once a quarter. I've promised myself, that I will be opening it up to the folks in the community itself, just overall in the broader
Hmm.
community. So our first mastermind that we did, it was more of a webinar than a mastermind where I brought in co-stars, hospitality
Right.
director, and we talked about the market, we talked about what's happening, within the hospitality framework in the U.S. And so that was really widely received. We had over 150 participants that showed up, and lot of people were
Terrific.
owners, a lot of people were just wanting to get into, and my goal was not to say, look, I'm doing this because I want you to come and give me the listing and let me sell it for you, this and that. No, no, we're in it to win it, right? And so it's a
Hmm.
long-term game for us. And so for me,
Yeah.
as I said, educate, it's about the education itself. And so
Yeah.
learning about what's happening in the market becomes really important. We're about to do another one in September, which will be more geared to hotel owners and understanding taxes and 1031 exchanges and really understanding the power of that. A lot of people, I feel like, they still don't understand that subject, and so we're about to do that, and that'll be open to the community also.
Oh, that's terrific. Do you anticipate down the road maybe opening a mastermind for the multifamily and storage as well, or do you think you're going to keep it with the hotels?
I think I'm going to keep it with the hotels for now, and because that's the focus that I have. Now
Hmm.
we do educational webinars on multifamily and on self-storage, but that's more toward to our investor base in Spur Equity. We have about 1,000 people within our database, so not a whole lot. We have about 150, 180 people who invest with us on a
Hmm.
pretty normal basis. And so for them, as we are cultivating and as we're growing, we're doing lots of different educational webinars. And those are the ones that, we're teaching them about how to be a passive investor, what to look for, what to look in a sponsor, what type of questions to ask. So not only are they investing with us, but if they want to go invest with other people, they should have the knowledge, they
Right.
should have the power to do that.
That's terrific. And my last question as we wrap things up is what does living fully mean for you?
Oh, that's a beautiful
This is
question.
the big one.
Yeah, yeah. So, living fully means a lot of different things, not just commercial real estate to me. I mean, this is just an
Mhm.
avenue that we have. To me, living fully means, going after your dreams, and really not just chasing your dreams, but more than that, accomplishing some of those dreams in life. And that could be related to, health, that could be related to spirituality, that could be related to family, that could be related to so many different things. It's encompassing those dreams that you have into reality. To me, that would be probably living fully.
I love that. Right. Because we're not singular focused, right? We
No,
have many parts and aspects of ourselves. Definitely.
absolutely,
Well,
absolutely.
Rob, thank you so much for joining me. And please do share how can people connect with you and learn more about you?
Well, absolutely. I'm always on LinkedIn. You can just type my first name, last name, CCIM. So Rav Singh, CCIM. You can look me up there, or you can go to our website, which is spurequity.com, as SPUREQUITY.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. I love being here. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye bye.